What is up, Gorilla Nation? It is Relentless here, bringing you yet another Division 2 video. If you happen to be new to the channel, or you're just enjoying the content, then please be sure to ground and pound that like and subscribe button. Also, reach up there, trigger the bell, and turn on post notifications, so that way you never miss a live stream or a video that is uploaded. Well, as you can tell by the thumbnail, this is definitely going to be epic. Now, some may agree with me, some may disagree with me, but I'm going to keep it real nonetheless. And I'm going to speak my mind and my opinion regardless of whose feelings or whatever that I hurt. I'm just being me and expressing my opinion, and you are welcome and free to disagree with it as you see fit. We can still coexist and communicate, but that doesn't mean we have to agree on and see eye to eye on every single thing. But when it comes to these perfect talents on these brand sets, these named gear, it's been said, or I should say, it's been cried about as far as it being a little bit of a debacle when it comes to these perfect talents and them being allocated and stuck to specific, yes, I said specific and not Pacific, to those who are out to their care, as far as you should be able to move them off those named items and put them on wherever you see fit. And that's what this dude was pretty much crying about. And I say dude, but let's just call him Epic. So in his line and thought process, so you're just making what already is the meta even more of a meta by allowing perfect talents to be shifted as you see fit on whatever you see fit. But does that not, you know, go against and the whole reasoning and the whole thing behind having the regular talent and then something called the perfect talent? I mean, if you can get the perfect talent on everything that you want, then why even go with the basic of that talent? I mean, did you think about that video before you actually put it out? Or you were just trying to, you know, get out their content and try to at least be a little bit relevant? But I already know that you really play the game that much. I mean, you speak of PvP in your vid, but yet you don't PvP. And you want people to listen to your suggestions about the Division 2, but you don't even take the time to do the research to know what talents and requirements are needing to be met in order to unlock certain talents and how things synergizes, but yet you want us to take your advice on things. I mean, yeah, we see how your advice went on the whole EB, right? But going back, not getting sidetracked, let me give you a little lesson, Epic. All right, when it comes to RPGs and MMOs, and just like Division 1, and what most of the community was allocating before Title Update 6 is there has to be a point to where you should be able to get certain things, but you should have to give up certain things in order to gain in other areas. Case in point, you mentioned the 511 gloves that have perfect clutch on them and stated that, you know, for PvP, who would want to use that, you know, over the I guess the likes of an Alp Summit gloves with clutch that has that additional offensive mod slot for the extra damage. Well, you just made your own point null and void just by making that statement, because you should have to give up something in order to gain something. I think most of us can agree on that. So in this case, if you're running a Berserk clutch build and you are not worried about skills whatsoever, then the one piece of Alp Summit only gives you skill haste. So it's just as much null and void as the one piece 511 when it comes to PvP. So there's no confrontation or argument there. But you're having to give up something in order to gain something. You're having to give up that offensive mod slot on that pair of gloves in order to get that 5% additional health back when you crit by using clutch on the perfect clutch talent. See, you're having to give up something in order to gain something. The devs put the choice in your hands to whether if you want that little extra bit of damage in other areas, such as like perfect on the ropes, perfect spotter, things of that nature, then you're going to have to give up something else. And that is why it is set in stone on specific brand sets. And I think that's a good thing, because either, you know, if you want that additional of that talent, then you have to give up for it. I think that's a good thing. And to backtrack on that and to allow people to take off the perfect talent and stick it whereas they see fit, would kind of put us back in the Stone Age where we just were, several weeks ago. And it is just mind-boggling that you would even, think of that. I mean, I can't really say mind-boggling because I've seen your last build video, and it kind of went something like this. Welcome, agents. Well, today I bring you the perfect build video, right? I spent tons and tons of time trying to, put together this build. No, I didn't go out and grind for the gear and actually, make it my own and say that I had to put the time and the effort into actually making that build. No, I went over to this website to where I could just, pick up somebody else's idea and try to, pin it off as my own just to try to make some funds off of this YouTubersphere thing, right? Because, I don't actually play the game anymore. So, I needed something to appease my Division 2 community. So, let's go through my thought process right quick, right? So, here is the drawing of how I went about my thought process. All these little squigglies and whatnot, or where I was just, could not think of what prop this or what requirement this talent had. It was just, just constantly circling. And then the hearts represent of actually when it dawned on me that, that talent would actually work with that. So once I got this build off this website, then this is how it made me feel. And this is my drawing. And now after I had such a happy time and was so happy I actually was able to find this build on this website to use it as my own, this is what happened. Oh, nope, my bad. Oh, bloody hell, you weren't supposed to see that. Wrong drawing. But anyways, on the build, you'll see that I pointed out the arrows where you would want these talents here. You would want these perfect stats here. And rarely can you get these perfect talents without having to, farm your asses off to get them. And then on top of that, to get the perfect stat rows as well, you would take an awful lot of grinding, right? So that is why I got it off the website to use as my own to make some money off of it, even though I do not know what unlocks what talents, what requirements are need to be met for certain talents. I just threw it together to make money off of it. So I hope you guys enjoy. Later. Yeah, so basically that is how his last video went. I mean, how can you want somebody to listen and value your opinion when you don't even take the time and effort to play the game in which you're reporting on and making vids on? I mean, personally, I don't understand it. I mean, you don't know what requirements need to be met to unlock certain talents. That's proven in your build video because you have no clue. You're going off a website instead of actually grinding and coming up with a building yourself. I mean, even Wids can do stat sheets and put the perfect build on paper, but at least he takes the time to go out there and actually farm for those pieces and actually put it together, unlike just reading off a stat sheet on and saying this as the best AR build or best build out there in the whole entire game. I mean, come on, bro, get real. But yet you expect us to take your advice about a game and a community that we're so deeply involved in, when you don't even take the time and effort to involve yourself in that community, and you do this BS. I mean, let's keep it real. I know I'm not the best at things, but at least I have the effort. I put in the effort, the time to grind and try to find these things, to try to put builds together. And, I don't just, look up things on the interwebs and do a video about it without actually doing the research behind it, the legwork. I mean, come on, let's keep it real. And no, I'm not trying to clout chase. You can call me that all you want to. I'm just keeping it real and calling it as I see it. So just like most of these ETF people that were called out, I mean, no offense to any of them, but this is like the mindset of, they want people that are going to be yes men in their community so they can invite out, so that way they can be yes men in the community. Oh, it's going to be great, this and that. And he's even admitted that in one of his videos, that he was just giving them more or less in the nice way the benefit of the doubt, but really he was suckling their teat, I guess you would want to say, to appease them, right? I mean, after all, he did get invited to the ETF, and you see the reason why, because he's lost. He doesn't know the game. He doesn't know the requirements of talents. He doesn't really play the game. He speaks of PvP, but doesn't play PvP. And even people have stated that he doesn't even have the eagle, which is, I don't know if he has the eagle or not. But if he doesn't have the eagle, He was campaigning for the Eagle to be nerfed, but yet if he didn't have the Eagle and didn't really have it in his hands to try out and to see what the weapon did, then how can you call for something to be nerfed if you never really tried it out yourself? See, that stuff like there is why I call out BS on people. Because the disinformation, the blind leading the blind, and enough is enough. And Gorilla Nation, you can hate me for it if you want to. You can dislike it. You can, not agree with my opinion, and that's okay. We can agree to disagree, and we can still coexist and come together as a community and talk things out and actually work for the betterment of the community, and still, have respect for one another. But just because we disagree with one another doesn't mean that we hate one another or we don't like one another. It just means we have a difference of opinion. That's the great thing about life. You can still coexist with somebody, be happy, enjoy playing with them, watch their content or whatever, even though you disagree with them. That's the beauty of life. But no, I do not think these perfect talents should be able to be moved to wherever you see fit. They're there for a reason, and the reason is, as I stated, you have to give up something in order to gain something. I think it's a good thing. Now, once later on down the line when they introduce other things, we can cross that bridge when we get there. Things need to be tweaked in other areas, which is there need to be still. But I think for the most part we're going in the right direction. But this is enough of my rant. So, hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope I didn't, crush too many feelings or crush too many people's dreams or, offend too many people. But, I'm just speaking my opinion just like, everyone does in my comment section or in everybody else's comment sections all over social media. This is just my opinion and my take on things. But appreciate you guys. We'll see you punching later.